Well, good evening, or good afternoon, or good morning, whatever time that you find yourself watching this video. Welcome back to Life is Hard, Don't Complain. Today, I ran across this on a website, and the website is K-Siberia, and they've done swords and things like that for a long time. And this knife, I got it for dirt cheap, but it's a closeout. They're not making this anymore. It's a Caspian Hunter. It's out of AUS steel. Made in Russia by Kizlyar Supreme Caspian Hunter with and it, as per, they weren't kidding, everything's in Russian. I don't own any Russian knives. This is my first one. I saw this and I was like, man, that is a nice looking knife. And it was 60% off because it was a closeout. It's a discontinued item. I looked it up and it said, hey, it's a decent brand. Kizlyar. I'm gonna we'll say Kizlyar. Shit. This knife, this brand, is from Dagestan. If you're a MMA fan, I think Khabib, I won't even butcher his last name. Khabib was from Dagestan, I believe. Let's take a look-see. Big, thick leather sheath. It's got a lifetime warranty. Oh, there's some English here. Quality is of top priority for Kizlyar Supreme. I'm going to do this in Russian accent. And we stand behind the quality of our products. No, I'm not going to do that. Therefore, all of our knives come with lifetime. Okay, it's got a warranty. Function of a knife is cutting and using it for purposes other than that may not be covered under the warranty. And it doesn't cover using it as a screwdriver, using it as a axe, using it. Don't repair or modify it. Doesn't require doesn't cover lanyards, etc. So basic warranty info. It's got a dangler loops for your belt carry. You can carry it close, a little higher, or you can carry it lower. Let's go ahead and weigh it. Now, something tells me this is going to fail the old shake test, but we'll see. 255 grams, 9 ounces with the sheath. It passed. It passed. Wow. I think it was coming out though. But, initial shake test, we're gonna give her a pass. Okay. This knife, 6.4 ounces, or 181 grams. Let's take a look-see. full-tang construction, the Caspian AUS 8 steel. Budget, it's a budget steel. Very traditional looking shape. Yeah, it's interesting. They describe this handle shape as a Caucasian handle, which is interesting. Yeah, this is in the Caucasus region, Dagestan. Very comfortable in the hand. This knife is super lightweight for the style of it, you know, nice and sharp. You know, AUS 8 steel, Cold Steel's been using it forever. It sort of is going to be the I guess performance of this knife is going to really lie heavily on its heat treatment. You know, how did they heat treat this guy? I am not quite sure on, you know, this is my first experience with this brand, and like I said before, it's my first Russian knife. And you know, I have I'm not going to go down a political rabbit hole here with the continuing war in Ukraine. You know, the Russians have been sort of a bogeyman for a while here in the States. And, you know, for me, I just, you know, I don't think it was as cut and dry as the politicians have really stated. And, you know, I just, Russia has a super long history, a super interesting culture. You know, Dagestan, Dagestan is almost its own. All the various stands are, you know, independent. You know, they call the Russian Federation now. That blade really pops with this wicked wax. Let's see how this wood is going to change with the wax. The wood feels a bit dry, so we're gonna, it darkens up immediately, but that's good because that means it's thirsty. And when you are applying a oil or a wax to a wood or leather product, I'll give Wrangle Star a shout out here. I follow the process. I learned from him about how the U.S. Forest Service old timers would take care of their axe handles. They used boiled linseed oil, but they would oil it once a day for a week, once a week for a month, once a month for a year, and then as needed or once a year, no matter what. And it would basically impregnate the wood. In the case of an axe handle, usually hickory. And that wood would be infused with that linseed oil and really stand any abuse. It would be basically waterproof at that point, and just become a superior product. So, as you can see, the knife itself really cleans up very well. Initial thoughts on the actual fit and finish. Nice recessed hex hardware, full-tang. Feels very nice in the hand. The ergonomics are really good. You could possibly, I don't know what people, I mean, maybe as a tie down to put it in the sheath, but I don't think it's necessary, you know. I think on sale I paid like $42 for this knife, and you know, I really like it, and I'm going to look into this brand. You know, again, it's not an expensive steel. AUS 8 is not premium steel. But it's been around forever. You know what you get. It's going, and you know, at $40, who cares? But this is a nice, you know, they call it, it's a Caspian. I think that they call it the Caspian for the Caspian Sea area. You know, they as they described, this is kind of a Bowie-style blade, which is the west, the Bowie, and the Caspian Sea area is kind of where east meets west, and this Caspian style handle represents that east. You know, transitioning this blade, it's a light enough blade, it's easy to do. You know, I like it. Kizlyar Supreme, made in Russia. You know, fit and finish are excellent. I you know, the wood, this does not appear to be a stabilized wood. This may be something like a walnut, or yeah, that's what I think the website said this is walnut. You know, this is just very nice, solid feeling knife, very light though. So really, for me at least, this is a nice introduction to this company. The sheath, nice thick leather with a little drain hole. You could call that a drain hole. High quality sheath. Okay, this is just being hypercritical, but this here, it could be a little heavier duty, more like a brass or something like that. But that's all. That's just being, you know, trying to find an issue where none exist. I'll leave their website in the comments, KizlyarSupreme.com. If I'm butchering this, someone can write phonetically in the comments what it should pronounce, the pronunciation should be. Guys, gotta remember, I'm out of Georgia, but I'm from South Louisiana. We don't pronounce words the same as everybody. But any thoughts? Anybody have one of these knives, or anything from this brand? Are there other Russian brands that I should be looking at? Because I'll be very honest, I am not familiar with Russian knife traditions, or you know, the Cossacks had their swords and things like that, but that's just things I learned in history. So I don't have any real working knowledge of modern Russian techniques in knife making and metallurgy and things like that. So I know they make good jets, you know. But anyway, thoughts on the brand, thoughts on Russian knives in general, drop it in the comments. I'm looking forward to looking into this brand and seeing what else they have, and I may bring that to the channel. So very solid knife for what I paid for it. I'm very pleased with it. Could be a fighting knife, feels very light, not anything that you would weep on if it got lost or whatever, because again, it's more of a budget priced knife, but extremely nice, extremely nice. So with that being said, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I look forward to our time together. I enjoy making these videos, and I hope you enjoy watching them. Just let me know any suggestions, improvements. I'm happy to hear them. So until next time, remember, life is hard. Don't complain. You guys take care.